Well, it's been a couple of weeks we've worked on this permaculture project. I'm going to show you the progress that's been made and the plants and the water drainage and such. So far it's doing pretty good. Got a couple little puddles here that we had because we had a large storm today and probably got, I don't know, 1.5 inches of rain or more. And out here where we have been planting, you can see the buckwheat is doing really well. We have sunflowers that are coming up, and the red is amaranth. So they're all good products for the soil, good plants for the soil. And this whole area used to look like this, what's behind here, and a little where we drive now. But you can see how well all of this is doing. This is really taking off and doing really good. The trees are doing good, the amaranth is doing good, the sunflowers are doing good, and there is clover in here as well. Hopefully you can see that, but the clover is coming out and doing well also. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Got some amaranth, really strange, that's taller than it is anywhere else. So don't know why exactly, but a couple of spots it's taller than everything else. So really happy, especially the buckwheat. It's doing really good for our soil back there. Then our natural grass row right through here is doing great. And all the rain that we had today, of course I didn't need to irrigate anything, but our grass is doing good in this little natural grass row between these two sections, because to the right over there we're going to have another section similar to this. But in here also our new fig trees, the little fig plants are doing really well. These guys are growing, coming along nicely. All of them, especially that one. Look how big this guy's gotten. And sunflowers, you can see those sunflowers there in between, and the other ground cover plants that we've put in. These guys are all doing good. Down here we have our blueberry plants. I'd like to weed around these a little bit and get some of these materials away from them, but the blueberries are looking good as well. So we're really happy with those. And then we have, right up here, we have our 2 elderberries. And our 2 elderberries are doing good, looking really nice. They're growing quickly. Small plants right now, but it won't take long for those guys to shoot right up. And we'll get some cuttings from these elderberries and set out some new ones. And then we have another section of more figs. So got our figs. These are the latest ones that I just planted, and they're looking really good. I'm happy with the results. So those are looking great. But all in all, the first part of this permaculture project back here to stop the soil erosion and regrade it and begin our little permaculture project back here is working out really well. So we're satisfied. The next part is to keep expanding this. So it's about the size of a really large backyard, like maybe a 1/8 or almost 1/4 acre. But then this section over here is next. So we're going to keep expanding it and bringing it all out here. So we have our mountains of wood chips over there, and we're using those as they compost to amend and break up this clay soil out in this area. But all in all, the project is going really well, and we are very happy with the results. The results are very promising, and hopefully we can turn that section of the field around to something productive, more like a food forest, and we'll be able to move the chickens in there and eat what we don't. So looking great. So our market garden is looking better and looking really nice. Got some weeding to do, but after all this rain, it's just too muddy. But one of the problems that we've always had, is this black gumbo clay. how it is nearly impossible to farm in for this type of gardening for a market garden. Can't talk, for a market garden. So you can see this black gumbo clay is just horrible, and we've finally gotten it to where it drains really well, but it is still, in the summer after it dries, it's like farming in concrete, and the dirt simply doesn't give you a good medium to plant in. So I finally this year decided to bring in some new soil, and so far we like it. So I brought in 20 yards of really nice garden soil to make our 30-inch beds, so that we're not spending any more time working on the black gumbo clay. We're working with a much better soil. So we've already started planting some tomatoes and things in there, and our tomato trellises, we've got 5 rows up so far and about 2 or 3 more to go. But so far we really like planting and working with that, and it just makes our work a lot easier. So as this soil becomes part of our environment and we add some microbiology to it, it should give us much better results than we've ever had in the past. But you can see that this row we added the new soil to, and all of the beans are up. Next row over here, our squash and zucchini have just come up. So those things are all looking really good. The last thing I'm going to show you all today, we have this old greenhouse frame. This old frame is from the first greenhouse that we had out here, and it no longer serves us as a greenhouse because the covering just disintegrated, flew apart. And it's just lightweight. It was great for our first try and to learn how to grow in a greenhouse, but we've changed it so it's serving a whole new purpose. We have a lot of our plants that just simply burn up. The Texas heat and the direct sunlight is really, really hard on a lot of the pepper plants and similar type things. So we've converted this old greenhouse and we've put a 40% mesh over the top of it, and I'm going to go around in a minute and finish tying all these down with zip ties to this rail. But our hope is that all of the pepper plants and those things that are sensitive to that super intense sun and the summer heat will do much better under this and not sunburn the plants and the peppers, because they do get sunburned a lot. So we just want to prevent that and see if we can improve the quality of those plants. So I'm going to get busy putting the zip ties on here, and we appreciate you watching. We will see you on the next video.